On September 28th, 1879, in an isolated little farmhouse on a desolate country road in Decatur, Michigan, Mr. and Mrs. Charles Morse laid down about 8:30 at night to end their busy day on the farm. The only other person in the house was their housemaid, Jeannie Bull. Sometime after 9 o'clock, Mr. Morris got out of bed. Apparently, it's presumed to answer a knock at the door. As he opened the door, 2 shots rang out, one hitting him in the neck, the other piercing his heart. Mr. Morris always kept a revolver beside his bed, and Esther, his wife, jumped up grabbing that revolver, which was later found laying right in front of the open door next to her body. Now, there's mixed accounts of what happened with her. Some people say, or some stories say, that she dropped the gun, maybe in fear, and turned to run. One shot hit her in the arm, breaking her arm. The other one went through her back and pierced her heart. Other stories say she was found slumped down, shot to death in a closet. Nothing was budged in the house. Nothing was stolen, save one horse, apparently used for the assailant to escape with. This horse was seen with a rider on it, allegedly by one of the Morris' neighbors, a good friend. Later on, that horse was found tied up outside of South Bend, Indiana, over 30 miles away. Now, Miss Bull, she woke the next morning to find their bodies laying there dead where they fell. There was a big investigation. They found no one. Tonight is the 141st anniversary of the murder of Mr. and Mrs. Charles Morris. Now, due to the fact it's the anniversary, the sexton of the cemetery in Decatur, Michigan, does not want anyone on the property. So we will be doing a short investigation from outside the fence to see if maybe, just maybe, we can stimulate some communication. After that, we'll be going right down the road to Rose Hill Cemetery in Viola, Michigan. We're going to finish out the evening there. Hope you guys enjoy. We are already starting to pick up noises, would be the best way to describe it. I just saw movement to the right of their gravestone. The magnetic field is very high. It is all the way up here. Like right there next to that one, I would have swore I saw something move from that bush over to that. But I don't see anything over there.
Well, I was doing my little on the internet. I could have sworn I heard a footstep going right behind me. That's when I jumped.
Every township, town, or village has its myths and legends. Some are steeped in fact, and some are just stories created to scare. No matter the origin, these legends keep us up at night, afraid to sleep. Our team will search out these myths and legends and bring fact to fiction. If you need our help, if you're bothered by things that go bump in the night, we're the ones who bump back. These are Living History's Mysteries.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us at the Anderson Cemetery. Fortunately, we can't get on the cemetery here because we have a nice, lovely fence here. And earlier, I talked to the sexton, and she told me that since the anniversary of the Morris's murders tonight, she didn't want anyone in the cemetery. So we are doing this on the outskirts of the cemetery. So. On the night of September 28th, 1879, Mr. and Mrs. Morris went to bed around 8:30. The only other person was a woman that worked with them by the name of Jenny Bull. The house was situated back from the road with no other homes close by. Mr. Morris always kept a revolver next to his bed. He then heard a knock on the door, woke up, left the gun in the room. Morris opened the door, and a lone gunman shot him in the chest, then a second shot in the neck. Mrs. Morris ran out with the gun and encountered the person in the kitchen. Being scared, she dropped the pistol and retreated to the bedroom. There, the lone gunman shot her twice, but missed. The person cornered her up in the closet and shot her twice in the chest in point blank range. She died instantly.
Oh, this is where I gotta intervene. Like I told you guys in my preliminary that I did back at the studio, this is the multiple stories that you're hearing depending upon what source you go through, whether it was hearsay or the newspapers or what. Some people had her dying right there by the front door. Some people had her dying in the bedroom. Some people had her dying in the kitchen. His story was talking about the closet. This is what I was talking about finding your history and your sources. Back at you, big guy.
Oh, well, thank you.
Uh-huh.
This testimony came from Jenny Buell. So, after the killer did what he did, he rode out to the stable and got a horse. There's been a couple different stories on this one. Did he use the Morris's bridle saddle, or did he bring his own? What eyewitness accounts shows that all the Morris's bridles and saddles were accounted for. So for some reason, he brought his own with him. So he rode off on the night, and but the next day they located the horse down in South Bend, Indiana, about 30 miles down. So after this murder came in, townspeople was shocked that a loving couple just was cold-blooded murdered. So they hired the Pinkertons all the way out of Washington, D.C. to come out and investigate this murder. Sadly, to this day, the murder is still been unresolved. It's still open. So they did get a suspect, a so-called suspect by the name of Floyd Smith. They accused him by the handyman, who was discharged by the Morris family by his constantly drinking on the job. When he was taken custody, before he was placed in a jail, several townspeople cornered the carriage, beat up the cops, took Floyd Smith, and they took him in the woods north of Decatur, and several of the townspeople strung him up, tortured him for hours until he confessed. Floyd did not confess. After this was all said and done, he was never the same. He had severe injuries to his neck, and even on his deathbed, Floyd still gave up and still said he was innocent. Um, the murder was covered heavily, also gained national attention. So there you have it.
Now, in your research, is this one of the oldest cold cases in the state of Michigan that's on record?
It's one of the few oldest ones out there that is on record. I looked at several before that. If there was, there really hasn't been any that's on record except for this one. So, my opinion, I think this is the oldest, coldest case in Michigan. So,
Hmm.
is there other ones? There could be, but it just depends on if they documented it and all that. But to me, a lot of unanswered questions on this one. In my opinion, I think there was some foul play involved in this one.
Right there you go, guys. That is the grave of Charles and Esther Morris that Mark was telling you about and I told you about previously. We are still about 2 hours out from the time of their death. We have multiple cameras set up. We are going to do everything we can to document some activity. The murder weapon was described as a Colt Navy revolver. I actually brought a Colt Navy revolver, probably very similar to the one that was used to kill them. I'm going to see if we can get some kind of stimuli going where we'll get an open line of communication. But as for now, it's a waiting game. We are already starting to pick up noises, would be the best way to describe it. Mark just said he swore he heard somebody over on the south end of the cemetery say hello. Christy and I didn't hear it. We're hearing sounds out around the cemetery. So we'll see what happens. I'm really kind of surprised, this being one of the biggest urban legends in the state of Michigan, that we're the only ones out here on the 141st anniversary of their death. It's really surprising, but we're going to stick to it. We're going to see what happens. I gotta kill that light. I'll never understand why these lenses or why these cameras darken when you turn them on. I just saw movement to the right of their gravestone. It almost looked like a white dress blowing in a breeze. And there is a very slight breeze out here. Hold on, I'm going to see if I can find some more light.
He's too far away. He's too far away.
Okay, this light's not helping. Alright, I'm going to pull out the Paraloose. I'm going to see what I can run across.
ITC Legion Paraloose loaded. Scanning.
Nope.
The light's just too far. Charles or Esther Morris, are you here? Can you hear us? We're here to remember you on the anniversary of your death, the anniversary of your murder.
Yard.
Yes, you're in the yard. Not very far from where you lived at. Vet. Are you at all familiar with these? Yes, it is a gun. Do you remember the man who shot you with this kind of gun? I heard yeah.
Intermittent.
Do you remember his name?
May.
May.
Teen.
How old was Jenna? No age.
Hello.
Hmm?
It says hello.
Hello?
I just said it again.
Yep. Hello? Charles, are you listening? Can anybody hear us? Yep, if you guys were just listening, you would have heard what?
they were gonna stop.
Looks like it.
Thought they were what?
I thought they were gonna stop.
Yeah, I know. I thought they were going to stop too.
Oh, they
Hmm?
saw them stop the car right there.
Yeah, I know they stopped as soon as they seen the tail lights of the car. This is one of those banjo type situations right here.
We're not that far in the sticks. Not quite that far.
Bark like a dog, boy. I mean, squeal like a pig.
Like
Whoa,
a dog.
whoa, whoa, whoa. I just saw something when I turned my head and looked down the road. Something right out to the right of their grave. We can barely see it with our eyes, you guys. The camera's not going to help because of the sexton wanting to keep the place locked up because of what tonight is. Let me kill this real quick. Because of the sexton wanting to keep it locked up, we're stuck probably a good, what would you say, 60 feet, 70 feet?
Roughly.
Yeah.
Maybe a little more away from the grave. But with it being dark, it's kind of helping our eyes a little bit. And I just saw something looking back from, I would have sworn it was eyes. I'll know when I go into edit, but I would swear that someone was just standing over on the right side of the grave. It actually looked darker than the night did. That doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing, but, you know, better safe than, well, I don't think I'm really overly concerned about anything here. This seems like a very, very peaceful place, and investigators that have come here in the past have said that to them it's the same way. It's very, very peaceful.
Coyote stopped yelping.
Yeah, I noticed that. And the coyotes actually even quit yelping out in the field.
Wonder why.
It's probably because they're all standing behind us on the other side of the road over here licking their lips. They got their tongue hanging out, they can't yelp. Guys, we're right down the road down here at the Rose Hill Cemetery. It's technically in Viola, Michigan. As you could probably hear, we're getting the pitter-patter of tiny raindrops. We just found a 1st Michigan veteran CAV member. Mark's trying to look him up right now. To get some information on him, but I'll be honest with you, walking around here with just a flashlight lighting the way, I'm hearing a lot around us. I heard breath behind me earlier. I've heard noises in both directions off in the dark. Something tells me this might be our saving grace tonight. We'll see. Alright guys, like I said, we found Mr. Alba H. Hike out here. He's 1st Michigan Veterans Cavalry. I'm only guessing HOSP dot STEWD is like hospital steward. Like I said, Mark's looking for information on him. Come over here under the umbrella and let him know what you found. I know you haven't found much, but
All I found was his date and his death. He was born August 13th, 1844 in Cass County, Michigan. Died December 19th, 1899, age 55 in Decatur, Van Buren, Michigan. And you're right, Civil War veteran, hospital steward for 1st Michigan Cavalry, which that was under Custer's brigade.
Michigan's George Armstrong Custer.
Yeah.
Okay.
1st, 5th, 6th, and 7th Michigan Cavalry, that was Custer. All 4 of them were at Gettysburg at that time.
Huh. So this fella right here was probably in Gettysburg. Or are you finding anything to confirm or deny that?
One second, I think I got something.
Mr. Hike. Did you serve under Custer, sir?
He said yes.
Yes, we heard you. Were you at Gettysburg, sir?
He got discharged for disease, like in 1863, late 1863.
What kind of disease did you have, sir, that they discharged you from the cavalry? We're sorry you got discharged. At least you were at Gettysburg.
Oh shit, there's a Bourdain sharpshooter buried here.
Thank you for your service. Okay, when we were investigating the Cav vet earlier, Mark seen that there was a U.S. sharpshooter here. We did locate his grave, S.A. Thorpe, Company K, United States Sharpshooters. We're going to check this out. We're going to see if Sharpshooter Thorpe has anything to say to us tonight.
ITC Legion Paraloose loaded. Scanning.
Sharpshooter Thorpe, good evening. It's funny, the arrows drawing us, pointing back that direction. Actually, it's moving.
Opposite.
Yes, the opposite direction. You're actually correct, sir. Let me pull out the little box here. We'll use it too.
Sacred.
Sacred. Very sacred. And that's why we placed the flag on your grave, because very sacred, sir. Do you have anything to tell us? Do you have anything you'd like to say to us? Mark's trying to find your service record. Reap. Would you explain, sir? What the hell was that? Something just went right in front of the camera off to the side, almost in between me and Mark.
Paralysis.
Paralysis. Did you find anything about his service record?
Shut your thorf if I want to call you that. Why in the hell did you desert? Huh? Why in the hell did you wear the green uniform and desert? Ticking me off when you decided to desert during 1863, just before Gettysburg. That's really ticking me off right now.
Were you a deserter, sir? I've heard enough from you.
Scanning stopped.
Robert Adley, Company H, 43rd U.S. Colored Infantry.
Bradley.
That's what I said.
I thought you said Adley.
Robert
Bradley.
Bradley. That guy right there that's been laid to rest. Yeah, him. Yep, Robert Bradley, Company H, 43rd U.S. Colored Infantry. Hope you found peace and rest, sir. Mark looked for this gentleman, pretty much everything unknown on him. Don't know what to say about that, but like I've said before, they didn't keep very good records on their white troops, let alone the black ones, sadly. Rest in peace, soldier.
Unknown birth and death. Company A, 8th Illinois. No dates.
No dates. Stratford Dyer, Company A, South Illinois Infantry, Spanish-American War. Thank you for your service, soldier. Rest in peace. We're going to pop the box for a second. I want to see if this gentleman has anything to say to us. He's been out here for a while. Sir, can you tell us what the Spanish-American War was like?
Scanning.
I got information on 8th Illinois.
What did you find on the 8th Illinois?
Organized and mustered into service, Springfield, Illinois, July 12th, 1898, with 43 officers and 1,200 men. Left Springfield in New York City, then we were on a steamship to Santiago, Cuba. August 16th, they arrived in San Luis, Cuba. And that's it.
Sir, do you have anything else to say to us?
Scanning stop.
16 killed by accident.
16 killed by accident. I think that goes beyond accident.
Let's see. Casualties while in service. Officers, none. Enlisted men died of disease.
Yeah,
16 killed.
heard that.
Let's see. Oh, enlisted men died of disease, 16. Killed by accident, 2. Murdered, 1. Deserted, 9. What the hell did they get themselves into?
A lot.
Okay, well.
I heard that.
Can you define a lot? What did you guys do?
Was the fighting bad? Thank you for your time, soldiers. Rest. Your days of fighting are over. What? Just turned itself back on. All right, we've ran across another one out here. Rob Lundy, Company A, 19th Michigan Infantry. Any luck, Mark?
Mustered out good old Dowagiac, Michigan, out of 1862. Saw battles of Kennesaw Mountain, Seas of Atlanta, March to the Sea, Bentonville.
Anything else?
That's about it with the regiment. I'm gonna go try to find this guy, see what he did.
Like right there next to that one, I would have swore I saw something move from that bush over to that. But I don't see anything over there. She's got balls, I'll give her that. Hell, it could have been a cougar for all we know. She just strolled over there, not a knife on her, nothing. She's got gazungas bigger than most men I know.
Okay, I found another one.
All right, what'd you find out about our friend here?
Robert Lundy, age 33, enlisted in Company A, 19th Michigan Infantry, August 11th, 1862, in Dowagiac. Enlisted for 3 years. He was discharged for a disability in Cincinnati, Ohio, December of 1862. So, it wasn't in the regiment that long. Just for a few months.
Wow. Looks like GS or CS, Company H. Here, let me get down there where I can actually see. GS.
BB.
Is it BB?
Yeah.
Because these are kind of wore off. These are good, the B and the E.
Well, I'm going to say it's BB because those are BB back there.
Okay, 5th Michigan Infantry. But yeah, it's G, because it comes around real skinny, then it gets fat right here. It's GSBB, Company H, 5th Michigan Infantry.
5th Michigan was a regiment that was in Gettysburg.
5th Michigan was the regiment in Gettysburg. Do you have anything on Mr. Beebe, though?
I'm looking. I'm trying to get into the 5th Michigan's roster, and the internet is not letting me.
Well, Mark's looking. I'm going to kick this thing on real quick.
Scanning.
Infantryman Beebe.
Oops, sorry.
West.
West. That's the direction we're facing. Yes, we're facing the west. What'd you just say, Mark?
Well, I was doing my little on the internet. I could have sworn I heard a footstep going right behind me. That's when I jumped.
That's when you moved over beside Christy.
Yeah. I heard a foot move.
You never know what you're going to find when you come out here. Come out to any of these graveyards at night. You never know what you're going to find, or hear, or see.
I mean, that was a foot move. I mean, that's why I jumped quick.
I mean, you really thought someone was coming up behind you?
Yeah, literally.
Well, it's been raining out here for several hours, so if there was anybody over there, we'd see something in the rain on the ground.
Mm-hmm. That was interesting.
Walk with me that direction.
There you go.
Looks like it has a P in it.
Looks to me like it's partially covered. Heavily and also
Gained, I guess, national attention.
Gyna what? Vigorously. Vigorously. I seen VIG, it's the only thing it could be.
You have spectacular handwriting.
Thank you. I'm sure.
Sexy, I would say.
I'm sure mine's better than yours.
No, you can actually.
I completely
read the words.
understand.
No,
what
I can't. I
attracted
can't
his
even
wife
read
to me.
your gaming signature because I don't know what the heck that is.
I completely understand what attracted his wife to him. It was the beautiful letters that he used to write to her
What letters?
that took her days to decipher, and she figured, I gotta stick with this guy. If I'm gonna spend this many days figuring out a love letter.
Dude, I wrote her on MySpace. That was my love letters to her.
You guys start dating when MySpace was still alive?
Yes.
God, you're old.
What are you?
Well, I never was on MySpace.
See, Santee, this is what I have to deal with.
Oh, it's supposed to be placed. Was placed in jail.
The police were ambushed.
Busted.
Yeah, it's ambushed. I only know that because I read the story. He was taken out in the woods
That's
by some of the
okay.
local people, and he was hung up, and he was beaten and tortured for possibly all night long, causing damage to his
Irritated by
neck that
the-
lasted the rest of
What
his
the
life.
freaking word is that?
What?
You can't even.
Where is the purple? That chicken didn't have a seizure on here. He had a stroke. He's kind of laying there just rolling in the ink and stuff.
You know, I'm getting you guys recorded.
I was watching you out the top of my eyes.
Word. What is that?
Which
Right
word?
there.
I don't know, you have your big old thumb on there.
What is that word?
Townspeak.
That's what?
There's a T in that thing somewhere.
That would make more sense than what the heck that looks like.
Drew, you're going to get this on the outtakes because I'm getting Christy on this one.